Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel and another stream. Today, we are going to be flying the Toliss A330-900 based on popular demand. But before we delve into the details, I want to welcome all of you guys in chat. Welcome Boeing Corp Mike, Mr. Valero Fly with Tobias, Santiago, welcome aboard. Yusuf, welcome. Glad to have you guys here. Hello, Niels. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. It's been a while. Flyby, welcome aboard. Star September, welcome aboard. Planed, welcome. And we have also Captain Andre, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. We have also is it Cub? Sorry if I mispronounced that. Roy, hello, Roy. Glad to have you here. And we have Mr. Williams. Yo, my friend. Welcome. Glad to have you here. And today we are flying the latest version of the Toliss, which is version 1.05, and the latest version of X-Plane 12.2.0. The only Airbus in-flight sim that is licensed by the company Airbus, and this is the most accurate system simulation of any A330 in the flight sim world. So we are going to be doing so, flying today from Xiamen Geokai, I hope I said that correctly, and heading over to Hong Kong International Airport. Flight time is approximately 1 hour, just under 1 hour, and a final cruise altitude today of 31,000 feet. The Toliss is very well known for creating very high fidelity simulation of Airbus aircraft. The reason being, the lead developer used to work for Airbus in the past, and so he's very well versed in the Airbus systems and the Airbus documentation. He's definitely got access to the documentation, and he holds a PhD. So very smart guy. And definitely the Toliss products is attestation to Toliss's commitment to the flight sim community. They offer great support and constant updates to all their fleet of Airbus aircraft. So a very good company, and definitely one that we can rely on for creating very high quality add-ons. Now, hopping into the cockpit, this is where Toliss does not excel. And they normally... they just really don't bother with the texturing of the aircraft, especially the interior, where I think, quite honestly, that's the only thing that is not, it doesn't really sit well with me. I love the company. I love the development team. I love the fidelity of the system simulation, but I do not like Toliss textures at all. All right. So... that said, let's take a very quick look at our flight plan before we begin setting up the aircraft. So as you can see, we are departing Xiamen Geokai from China and heading over to Hong Kong International. Departure today is through runway 23 and arrival at runway 07 left through the Abbey 4 Alpha arrival. So that is our plan today, and with that, we're going to begin with the pre-flight checks. And first thing first, we're going to make sure that the flaps are up and the engine mode selector is on normal. Both engine switches are off. The switches here are all normal. The landing gear is down. Moving up to the overhead panel. Let's take a look here, and we're going to make sure that the wipers are both in the off position. And finally, we have more than 25 volts on the battery, so we can go ahead and start battery 1 and battery 2. Hello, Stan. Welcome aboard. Hello, Jesse. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you here with us this evening. And also, we have MN Sports Fan 88. Welcome aboard. Hello, Stefanos. All right, so battery 1, battery 2, APU bat, and external power A, external power B, and now we have electrical power to the aircraft. Cruise supply for the oxygen is on, ground control is on. We're going to move here and set the ADIRS to nav mode. 1, 2, and IR3 are all set. Perfect. Next, we're going to come down here, set the strobe to auto, and the nav lights on. We're going to arm the emergency light, set the no portable device to auto, and we're going to set the seatbelt sign to on. And we can go ahead and turn on the fuel pumps. And moving up here, we're going to also go ahead and test the APU and the engine fire test as well. And we're going to take a quick look here and just make sure that the engineer panel, there are no white lights, and so that we're good here. Everything here is good. Everything here is good, and all is good. Excellent. Now we can go and start setting up the aircraft. Okay, so that is done and dusted. We're gonna bring some brightness to our displays here. So the PFD and the ECAM, both lower and upper ECAMs as well. Much better. Okay, excellent. And next we are going to brighten up our McDoos on both sides. And I'm going to bring the McDoo here so that you guys can follow. Actually, let me do the following. Let me do that. I think you'll have much better visibility that way. Yeah, that's much better. And we're going to bring SimBrief on the other side here for the selection of the runways. All right. So again, the process is diff strip. So we are going to go to, so this is the engine, the Trent 7000, and we are using today the Mango Studio sound pack for our flight. Hopefully it will increase the level of immersion. Start of climb, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. And we want to welcome Tajweed to the Q8 Pilot channel. Welcome, my friend. All right, so we are going to go to the init alpha. And from init alpha, we're going to use the SimBrief integration. Great SimBrief integration, Hoppy as well. As you can see, we have Xiamen Geokai here to Hong Kong International. We are today Cathay Pacific 3239. This is a real-world flight of Cathay Pacific carrying 261 passengers. Cost index is 10. Flight level, final cruise level is 31,000 feet. Perfect. Next, we're going to go to flight plan, and we're going to select our departure airport and select the departure runway, which is runway 23 through the NOS 7 Yankee. NOS 7 Yankee, that's the one there. There is no transition, so we're going to insert that. And next, we're going to go to our arrival airport, which is Hong Kong International, and we're going to select the ILS runway 07 left. And we are going to select this star here, the Abbey 4 Alpha. And there is no transition, so we're going to select none and insert. We're going to go through our flight plan here just to ensure we have no discontinuities. And it looks like that we are good. All right, perfect. Next, we're going to go to the secondary flight plan. We're going to copy the active. And then we're going to go to the radio here. We have the frequencies already set for us, and all is good. Next, we're going to go to progress, and we're going to select the same arrival here, which is Zulu Sierra Alpha Mike. And the runway arrival run is 23. So just in case we need to come back to the airport, we can do that. And I'll take a poll if you guys want to do some failures today. That may be something we can do once we're airborne. Okay, Orbix makes textures overhauls to FF add-ons. Would arguably benefit from similar packages. Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's see here. We are done with it. Let's go to init Bravo. And we have everything already set. I love the SimBrief integration in the Toliss aircraft. So we've got all of that taken care of. Next, we can go to the perf, or the performance. And again, we can actually get the performance. So we're going to go to the uplink. We're going to request the data, the takeoff data, and that will help us Again, minimize workload. I think the data is already there. There we go. We're going to do a flex takeoff. There we go. Now it's there, and that's flaps 1. The trim is 2.8 up, and we have 1414 and 142 for V1, V-rotate, and V2 respectively. We're going to go ahead and insert that, and now we have everything set here. Perfect. With that done, we are going to come here and start the APU. So master switch is on, and we'll wait for the APU flap to open. Wait here, it is open now, and now we can start the APU. Perfect. All right. In the meantime, we can also set our altitude to 31,000 feet. 31,000 is now set. Both switches here on VOR. And we can go ahead and grab the weather information here. So let's go to the SimBrief flight plan. We're going to go to the weather. And the weather here is, weather is calm, and altimeter is 1010. Yeah, definitely, you know, very few clouds at 1600, so, and ceilings well. Yeah, so really nothing too serious here. So we should have a fairly straightforward departure. All right, 1010 is set on both sides. Excellent. And let's see here. APU is almost there. There we go. APU is now available. So we're going to go ahead and turn on the APU bleed. And we can now disconnect the external power. And all is good here. Now we can hear the packs and the air conditioning system in the aircraft. Excellent. Let me bring up... let's see, enable smooth transition. I think those are for some reason not there, and I actually like the smooth transition, so we're gonna enable it on all the views.
Cameras saved.
Save the cameras, and voila, look at those beautiful engines there. Very nice. All right, so we're just waiting for the alignment now. Everything else is ready to go. We can disconnect the GPU, so we're going to come down here, and we're going to go to, let's see here. All right, so we're going to remove the chocks and remove the external power. Excellent. That is done, and this is going to be taken care of by the ground crew. All right, if we take a look here at the outside, you'll see that the aircraft doors have been automatically closed, including the cargo doors, so we are pretty much ready to go as soon as we have the alignment in a couple of minutes. All right, so the Airbus, the Toliss Airbus has also Avitab integration, and you can also access the weight and balance, the takeoff performance, landing performance, and the checklist, all from within the tab here. And also you have access to the control panel. This is a really welcomed addition to the electronic flight bag. Nothing too fancy about the electronic flight bag, but without a doubt a very functional one, and that you can use if you want to set things on your own. That's something you can definitely do here using the electronic flight bag. All right, so I didn't really think that that the Airbus aircraft is the Toliss A330 is going to be a contender for the Fearless 747 in the community tab, but it looks like this aircraft is very popular in the flight sim world. A lot of people like the A330 for some reason. Now, I do understand that Airbus is definitely gaining a lot of popularity, and more so than Boeing aircraft, with all the problems that Boeing is facing and the increased number of incidents for some of their supposedly most advanced aircraft. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a Boeing guy. I'm a Boeing guy all the way. But recently, without a doubt, Boeing has been having serious and very severe issues with their quality control, and there are definitely things at the highest level, at the executive level at Boeing, that requires some serious consideration. Right, so we have alignment. The alignment is now complete. Hello, Carl. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us this evening. Hello, Q8 pilot. What sceneries are you using for today? Default, X-plane, or orthos? You can type exclamation scenery and you'll get the links and the details of all the scenery that I'm using for the flight today. Right, with the alignment is complete. The alignment complete, we can now turn on our beacon lights on, and now we can get ready for push and start. So we're going to go to better pushback,
hey,
start
Captain,
push.
let me know where you want this thing.
And we can put the aircraft right over here. We could put it there. Nicer. Yeah, let's do that.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
All right, tow is coming. Everything is configured for our departure. Yeah, the only thing that I have on Toliss is definitely the texturing. It's just really horrible. Do you prefer X-plane or MSFS? I prefer X-plane for IFR. For the most part, I prefer X-plane. I have to be honest with you guys. I'm not gonna, use the standard answer that everyone's saying. Oh, I enjoy both for different reasons. I prefer X-plane, but I do enjoy Microsoft Flight Sim. There is definitely very high fidelity aircraft.
Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
The thing is with Microsoft Flight Sim is, first of all, at the platform level, it is highly unstable. So that's one thing. Then, of course, you've got the ground physics, the flight model. Almost all of the aircraft fly exactly the same. The new thing in 2024 with streaming the world data, it's just really it's a big mess. So so I do prefer X-plane, yes. I saw that and was frankly not surprised. Qatar is practical and they're protecting their fleet and consumer base. What's your favorite X-plane GA aircraft? Well, there are plenty.
Captain. Tow's connected. Bypass pens inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
So I prefer the GA aircraft. There's abundance of general aviation aircraft X-plane. I love a lot of them, like the Airfoil Labs King Air, the Cessna. You've got the V-Flight Air, which is excellent. Aerobasque aircraft. There's just a ton of excellent high-fidelity general aviation aircraft in X-plane that you can enjoy. So there isn't one specific aircraft that is my favorite. They're all, excellent in their own way. Right, parking brake released.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Hello there, Noah. Glad to have you here. Boeing caught the MD itch for building planes with a tendency for fatal accidents. All right, we have a clearance to start our engines. So engine mode selector to ignition start. And let's start with engine number 2. All right, here we go. Those engine sounds are great. Why don't you purchase VHHH scenery? I have. In fact, we are going to take a look at the Thai model VHHH scenery today. All right, we have a good start on engine number 2. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1. And engine number 1 is now starting. What they did do was fail to involve the pilots in the MCAS decision. They'd have received good feedback from them and probably avoided a number of things. Yeah. Welcome aboard German Flight Sim Channel. Glad to have you with us this evening, sir. All right, and we have engine number 1 coming up. The engine sounds are quite nice.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
All right, parking brake set.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
All right, the trim is 2.8 up, and that is already set automatically. Gotta love that. All right, we're gonna start this clock and this clock as well. Check out the engine sounds, guys. Those wings are beautiful. All right. All right, we have a good start on both engines, and we're just going to wait for the tow to disconnect and get the hand signals, and we'll be on our way. We're going to set the auto brake to max. We're going to set flaps 1 for departure.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
And there you have it. Flaps 1 is set. Tow is disconnected. Speed brake is armed. And we're going to come down here and set the weather system here to auto, and system 2. And we'll put the terrain on the first officer side. And we're pretty much good to go. Let's see here. Nose light to taxi. Engine start switch to normal. APU bleed off. APU master switch is off. And we are ready to taxi to the runway, which is right over there. Perfect. All right, folks, we are ready to go. And if we look here, look at how beautiful this aircraft is, guys. Parking brake released. All right. Not sure we have the right ground markings here. But yeah, that looks off here. Definitely. Well, it's a default airport, so you know things are not exactly correct here. But that's our turn. That's the hold short point for runway 23. Right. Runway turn-off lights on, landing lights on, nose light to takeoff, strobes are on. And let's come down here and we're going to set the TCAS. Let me see here. Okay, so let me set the parking brake real quick. And we want to go to normal. TARA is set. Excellent. TCAS on standby. I forgot how to set the TCAS. That's already set here. Does anyone remember how to do this? I totally forgot. I think it's ATC maybe. All right, there we go. Yep, all done. Perfect. We'll put this on flight plan, and we're going to start our clock, and we're good to go. Parking brake is released, and let's do the config test here real quick. And cabin crew, cease for takeoff, please. All right. Thank you very much, Carl. Appreciate it. No worries there, Flybright. Take care, my friend. Hello, V Skycheck. Welcome aboard. What a beautiful looking aircraft. All right, let's line up, runway 23, and we are cleared for takeoff. Engines are stable. Manflex 71, SRS, and runway. A little bit of forward pressure on the yoke. 80 knots, check. V1. Rotate. Positive rate of climb, gears going up. What a beautiful departure here from Xiamen Geokai. Just lovely wing views there. All right. Back in the cockpit, things are looking good. And thrust climb is set. Autopilot 1 is engaged. And we can retract the flaps. Speed brakes off. And we continue the climb. We're going to set this to 40. We're probably going to change the time as we go so that it's not too dark when we arrive. By the way, to whomever asked, yes, Cathay flies the A330. Yes, they fly the A330-300. This is the A330-900. So this is a more modern or an upgraded version of the 300. This is the 900 Neo. They have the A300, the A330-300, and this is a real-world flight flown by Cathay Pacific on the A330-300. Right, we are maintaining 250 knots as we are still below 10,000 feet. Hello, Stan. Glad to have you here. Welcome. Hello, John. And we have also Provat. Welcome aboard. Right, and QNH is set to standard. Well, X-Plane 12.2 in all its glory, ladies and gents. This is looking absolutely gorgeous. Look at the rendering of the sun, the light scattering, and the sim is just looking absolutely gorgeous. The sky color is very believable now in X-Plane, and things are starting to look really, really nice. With the clouds, the representation of the different type of clouds, cumulus clouds, cirrus clouds, they all look great. In some situations, still doesn't look all that great, but if you've seen the roadmap from Laminar, they are going to bring additional improvements to the clouds in future updates of the sim. So I'm quite excited about that. Very, very excited about X-Plane as a sim, and the future holds a lot of great things for us flight simmers, without a doubt. Sky and lighting is very mature, yes indeed. Honestly, the lighting and flight model in X-Plane 12 is what convinced me to change over from MSFS 2024. Yep, indeed. I think maybe the exterior sounds are a bit too loud. So let me come here to the settings, and maybe we'll put the exterior volume maybe to about like 60-50%. Let's see if that helps. Not really. All right, let's all right, let's see here. Override. External. Even that doesn't work. Oh well. Right, 10,000. Landing lights off. Runway turn-off lights off. And everything here will leave the seatbelt signs on auto. Excellent. So we don't have, it looks like, any aircraft right now in the vicinity. Traffic selector. Yeah, I don't see any traffic yet. So we'll wait until we see something. And maybe then we'll take a look at that. All right, let's set this to 80. Here's our top of climb. The sky colors are definitely very, very well done in this version of X-Plane. I flew through storm clouds on a GA flight, and 12.2 is amazing. All the stacking clouds look has totally been fixed. Yes, the stacking has been fixed, and it's looking gorgeous. Truly, truly gorgeous. I'd say there will be more airlines flying A330neo soon. The price is unmatched for the for this 3 to 6 hour routes versus the 787, and better delivery timing as well, or other weight and balance which have long. Yeah, and the big thing is fuel efficiency. So fuel efficiency is something that is very, very big now, and it's a serious factor in the decision-making process for airlines. Asaf is how good, in your opinion, is the McKnight 787? Stay away from the McKnight 787. Not good at all. Not worth the money. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. Just wait for the maybe for I'm not sure if Flight Factor we're gonna do a 787. I'm not sure, but do not purchase the McKnight 787. It's not worth the money. until this very day, it's got a lot of issues, and that is my honest personal opinion on the Mac 9. They have done a lot of improvements, by the way, on the Mac 9. The texturing, for example, is looking very good, but the aircraft is seriously lacking, and it has a lot of issues until this day. So a lot of bugs. It's just not worth it. Just not worth it. By the way, for those of you who do not know, there is a heads-up display on this A330. So if we click here, you see that we have a functional heads-up display, which is pretty cool. Maybe we'll use it for landing if you guys want. But yeah, very, very nice indeed. Works exactly as it should. And maybe we'll, if you guys like, maybe we'll use it for our landing at Hong Kong International. I would also stay away from the jar design A330. Yes, I would definitely join you in that decision. SU3 for MSFS 2024 is also heading in the right direction. I hope so. Thunderstorms and lighting also has been taken care of. Lighting looks gorgeous. It is the golden time of simming thanks to the tech. Yeah, absolutely. Thoughts on the Flight Factor 777 and if it's worth buying right now? Absolutely. The Flight Factor 777 version 2 is by far the very best simulation of a 777 in flight sim. The aircraft has in-depth simulation of the aircraft system, including all the radio communication with the ground crew, with your cabin crew. Just really an excellent and in-depth simulation of the aircraft. Visually, by the way, the Flight Factor 777, in my opinion, looks far better than the PMDG counterpart. So to me, it's better than the PMDG 777, hands down. So definitely, it's I would say it's a no-brainer, like Roy has said, without a doubt. As an Airbus fan, I really like the Flight Factor of Boeing 777 a lot. I do too. Is there any problem with the 777 VNAV? Well, so in the release notes, Flight Factor continues to have a disclaimer saying that VNAV is still work in progress. Now, this doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It does work, but there are certain situations which, by the way, most of us will probably not encounter, but for things where, like, you have high altitude airports and things like that, the VNAV calculation can be off. It's not off by a long margin, so maybe you will need to intervene to correct the aircraft's altitude and speed. But in most situations, at least for me, for all the airports that I've flown in the 777, I've had absolutely no problems with VNAV. It works without any problems whatsoever. Good afternoon, Mr. Rolland. Welcome. Do you know if the Toliss aircraft I purchased for X-Plane 11 work in X-Plane 12? No, you will need to upgrade it. It's not a whole different purchase. I think you can upgrade, and you should be able to find the upgrade coupon code in the in your original download page where you purchased the Toliss. So I fly most common airports, and I should be fine with the 777 version 2. Yes, you should be just fine. Adam is telling us that the VNAV is currently under heavy development. Thanks for the heads up there. Appreciate that. In general, are the Mango sound packs the best, or the FT Sim sound packs good as well? Well, generally speaking, first I'd like to say that Mango Studio is a great developer. He's a really, really nice guy. But again, I'm going to be very honest with you guys in terms of what I think of the Mango Sound Studios. Not all their sound packs are good. Not all of them. Some are excellent, some are really good, but I've had experiences with them where I do not like them, to be honest. I don't like the ones they have for the Toliss aircraft. I very much prefer the prefer the COSP sounds, the COSP sound packs. They are just phenomenal. The best sound packs I've heard so far. I believe COSP is also used by the guys over at Flight Factor. I think they hired COSP to build the sound set for their 777, and that's why it's got really very nice sounds. So definitely Mango Studio. Always check. You can join the Q8 Pilot Discord. You can email me anytime at info@q8pilot.com if you have any questions regarding their sound packs. I'll tell you which ones I would recommend. But obviously, this is the only one available for the Toliss A330, and the default sounds in the A330 aren't that good. So we are using the Mango sound pack today, which is actually not bad for this specific Toliss. BSS sound pack are very good. Yes, the BSS sound pack and the COSP sound packs are amongst the best. I wouldn't really look any further. Does anyone get crazy FPS drops during night flights? I don't get that. Any updates? The Toliss A350, I have no clue. But maybe, just maybe, if you are going to FS Expo, maybe you can stop by and ask them. Is the Flight Factor A350 still worth it, or is it pretty outdated? Trying to fill a void. Well, look, I've done a recent flight on the A350 by Flight Factor, and I will tell you right off the bat, the aircraft is definitely dated, okay? But the aircraft actually has a lot of the A350 systems simulated. So it's really a shame that they haven't really updated it over the years. It has received, by the way, an update with SimBrief integration now, so you can, the SIDS and stars, which were not originally available. All of these things are available within the A350. Do I recommend it at this point? I cannot really recommend it because it's really dated, but if you already have it, it's actually not a bad aircraft to fly. It's actually a lot of fun to fly. But again, you will be very disappointed in how, the fonts are off, the sounds are off, the aircraft just, the way, the management of the aircraft is very dated. Doesn't have an EFB like, for example, the 777. So by today's standards, it's definitely outdated, big time. Justin asks, best scenery for you. I love Mr. X scenery. Anything from Mr. X, I definitely love. Let's take a quick look here. We can actually go to... so scenery is I like MK Studios scenery. I like Mr. X. MK Studios mainly for Microsoft Flight Sim. There is also, I forget the name of them. They do excellent, what are they called? They did the Dublin version 2. I can't remember them now. But yeah, for scenery, I think there is a lot of very good scenery out there. So there isn't one specific scenery that I like, but I like Time Models as well. I think he creates excellent scenery for X-Plane. So let's go to flights. We're going to go to Hong Kong, select the weather, and let's fill things up here. So 1008 for the QNH. The temperature is 30. Ooh, pretty warm, huh? And the winds are 120.11. A little bit strong winds. And that should make our approach and landing interesting. Okay, and let's see here. Let's go to flight, and we're going to select the approach. The ILS is 07 left, isn't it? Yes, 07 left. So let's select that, and let's take a quick look here. All right. Flight plan, and we're good to go. Right, actually we forgot to do something. We're going to go to progress here, and we're going to select VHHH, runway 07 left, and we're going to enter it here, about 173 nautical miles to our destination, and we're going to go to the init page, and we're going to set the cost index to 0 to save on fuel. All right, so that is done. Next, we're going to go to the flight plan. And let's see here. We're going to go to the fix information, and we're going to select our arrival, which is VHH 07 left. Enter that here, and the radial at 07 left is 074 degrees. 074 degrees. And we're going to put a radius of 20 nautical miles right here. We're going to go to the next page and repeat this again, 07 left, and we're going to add that here. Radial is 074 radial, and the radius is 10 nautical miles, and we add that there. And now we go to flight plan, and now if we go to our flight plan here, let me pop this out, and we can now cycle through this. And you should be able to see the 2 rings that we've created here. Let me make this 40 and step through. And there you have it. You have the 20 nautical mile ring and the 10 nautical mile ring, which are created for situational awareness. All right, perfect. We'll switch this back to ARC, and we'll put this away. And all's looking good here. If we go to perf, TD is in 46 nautical miles. Excellent. So not a very long flight. And the platform altitude is 1,500 feet. All right, perfect. Hello, Samuel. How are you doing, my friend? Hello, Philip. I have the flight factors 757 and 76, but they need a serious exterior texture update. They've been recently updated. So a new version of the 757, 767, and 777 is out as of the day before yesterday, I believe. We are flying from Xiamen Jiukai to Hong Kong International, Samuel. There are some texture mods and liveries to help improve the flight factor aircraft. Just Google FF mods. Yeah. The interior textures, though, are actually quite nice for the flight factor 767. Is the A350 still worth grabbing right now, or better off waiting for the version 2 Toliss? Just wait for the Toliss, I'd say. Does the Toliss A330 have implementation for snuts? What is snuts? Sorry, I don't know what that is. Hold on. Waiting for the Bluebird 757. Can't wait. Yeah, for sure. I'm so happy my GTX 1660 is able to run X-Plane 12 so well. MSFS literally can't barely run with all my add-ons added. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more demanding in terms of compute power. Thanks, Ukade. I love the A330. I just flew the Toliss A319 from Vienna to Brussels. Woo, nice route. Yeah, but the interior textures have only been updated and not the exterior. Yeah, that's right. What frames am I getting right now? Oh, I think I'm getting pretty good frames right now. I'm getting 95 frames, 95 FPS right now. But again, we're flying over the sea here. But I don't have any FPS issues with X-Plane. And as I've shown previously, for those really very involved sceneries where I start getting degradation in performance, I always use lossless scaling. It works beautifully with X-Plane, and it is a very cheap add-on that you can get, or it's an app that you get off of Steam. Very, very cheap, and it does the job very, very well. So I highly recommend lossless scaling for anyone using X-Plane. 95 is insane. I get like 50 mid-flight, but heavy airports 20. Wow, amazing frames. I'm getting a new computer. When will type models update VHH? That I have no idea, Justin. We get about 40 FPS and lossless scaling gives me 80 with MSFS maybe like 25, 30. Yeah. Only $6 on Steam. Totally worth it. Absolutely. I just got Thai Models EGLL. Very, very good choice. Now, I know for London Heathrow, there are 2 airports that are mega sceneries for X-Plane. One is by AnyBuilds and one by Thai Models. I personally prefer the Thai Models version. I think it's, for one, more accurate, and 2, better optimized for performance. So I get much better performance with the Thai Model version of London Heathrow for X-Plane. What is lossless scaling? Well, lossless scaling is, in layman's terms, it allows you to create, it uses AI to create additional frames based on your base number of frames. So it takes your frames and double them or triple them or even quadruple them for you. So it's a method that uses the GPU to render more frames based on your existing ones for a seamless experience. Let me very quickly, I'm not going to use it, but I will bring it up so you guys know. I call it the Duck app. And the reason I call it the Duck app is because the icon is the duck icon. So this is lossless scaling. For those of you who do not know what it is, lossless scaling, this is version 3.102. And you just use LS. I have a detailed video on lossless scaling for performance, the ultimate settings guide for X-Plane 12, which is available on the channel. You can go ahead and take a look at it, and I explain everything there in great detail. So I highly recommend that you get it for X-Plane. Hello there, Enzo. How are you doing, my friend? I'm doing very well. Yeah, it is not available for Mac, unfortunately. Yeah, only Windows. X-Plane feels so much more complete. I seem to always open 3 or 4 programs just to get MSFS started for basic functions. Mobiflight, BATC, Sky, Delhi. Yeah. You do have a built-in flight control replay now in MSFS 2024, though, and it works pretty well. Do you know how does it work with MSFS 2020? You just run it exactly the same way for X-Plane. It works in exactly the same way. Wait, how come your frame generation version 3 instead of 3.1? Maybe I haven't updated yet for the latest version. Yeah, maybe I haven't gone to Steam to update the app. Would you recommend the Kalamata Concorde? Absolutely. Yes. It does require, by the way, a learning curve, but it's an excellent aircraft. All right, so here we are. Let's go ahead and reset the altitude to 1,500. There we go. And the top of descent is in 2 nautical miles. I think we're good enough. So we're going to go ahead and... No, we don't want open descent for sure. So nav descent. And now we have begun the descent towards Hong Kong International. Should have started by saying... for these streams, which I enjoy... Oh, my friend. No worries at all, my friend. Thank you for being here, Brian. I appreciate it. You are part of the experience, and you are part of the success of the channel, so thank you for being here. Don't worry about that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Are you flying with the HUD? We do have the HUD. I've shown you guys the HUD, and if you want me to do it for the landing, we can definitely have it for the landing. It's just the HUD has always been something that distracts me, to be very, very honest with you guys. So I don't like using the HUD, but if you guys want me to, yeah, I'm more than happy to do it for sure. Does FF have an option for the RP? I don't know. Thank you very much, Stan. Appreciate it, my friend. And always a like from the Q8 pilot friends and followers is appreciated. Does really help the channel quite a bit, guys. So thanks for the reminder there, Stan, and thank you for all the likes and the support, guys. Appreciate it. Hi, Kuwait. What is the best ground handling for X-Plane 12? So there is ground handling by Jar Design. I prefer the Jar Design ground handling over the SAM ground handling. I think it works much better. And if you just want a pushback like I normally do, I normally don't do the the full simulation of ground handling. Better pushback is the best for if you don't want to bother with anything else. But I personally prefer the ground handling deluxe by Jar Design over any other ground handling add-on for X-Plane. Do you know you can use your keyboard while hovering the mouse over the pop-up MCD menu? I believe I do. Yes, I think so. Hi, Kuwait. What is the best? Let's see. Thank you very much for the info there. Star of Climb. Appreciate it. Right, 26,000. And we can see the clouds there in the distance. You can see the sky colors. Very, very nice indeed. I think it's going to be a beautiful approach into Hong Kong. And yeah, things are really, really looking good in X-Plane now. There we go. Our decel point is right there. And this is the 074 radial. We've been flying for about 30 minutes. Let's take a look at the outside real quick. Notice the cirrus clouds in the distance there. Yeah, the sounds are not all that great, really, but they're better than the default. Is X-Camera free? Well, X-Camera is free, but there are certain features. So if you want to save the views of the air, there are certain features that are not available in the free version. So like airport camera and things like that are not available in the free version, and it will not allow you to save the presets. But you can use it for sure. All the features will be functional, but you just cannot save them, so you have to kind of set them every time. It's nice to see set of add-ons, all are good, but you should be aware of how much they require in performance, so it's important to find the personal sweet spot. Yes, absolutely. Perfect combination. How are you doing, my friend? I just watched your old video, Siva INS for X-Plane 11, flying JSIM 7. And I already forgot how cool X-Plane 11 can be. Saturation, brightness, colors, and shadows are amazing there. Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I'm glad that you guys are still finding my older streams and videos useful. That's really great. I really am glad to hear that. Right, so looking down here, everything is good. Let me go back to flight plan. Right, so we are 22. What is our current altitude? All right, so we're doing good here in terms of the altitude. Again, we just want to monitor and make sure we are at the right altitude and that the autopilot system is respecting all the restrictions. Let's put the constraints here so we can have them also here on the display. So we do have a few restrictions there along our path to Hong Kong. I just really wish that that Toliss would consider revamping the texturing of their aircraft. I think by the way, the Toliss A319, 20, and 21, I think they have better textures than this one, than the A330. But I was wondering if you can actually... No, you can't. Okay. You do. You can't move the seat forward and backward. That's cool. And that's another thing here that you cannot check the. So if you here, this is normally clickable, but you can't. So you can only deploy the oxygen mask. That's another thing that they probably should fix to make this slightly better. And if we go up here, I don't think that the circuit breakers are. Oh, they are modeled. Oh, look at that. All the circuit breakers are modeled and are functional, so you can play with them. All right, perfect. All right. So all is good here as we continue our descent towards Hong Kong International. We want to go very quickly here to our approach sheet, and we want to look at the transition level. Okay, so trans level is 980 HPA or above 11,000. At below 97 or below is by ATC. All right, so 11,000 will set the altimeter, and let's take a quick quick look at the weather at our destination. We have still 120 degree, 11 knot wind. Visibility is great. Few clouds at 2,000. Ceilings 12. Temperature 30. QNH is 1008. Okay, perfect. Hoping Toliss has a 4th of July sale. I'm tempted to get one of the buses. They are all great, and my absolute favorite, actually, of all of them is the A321. I love the A321 by Toliss. Just really, really good. And with the COSP sound pack, oof, just like immersion at its best. One of the best Airbuses, really, in flight sim are the ones by Toliss. Q8, did you update to the latest Toliss A330 version? Yes. I have the latest version, which is 1.05. And you can very easily, by the way, guys, update through the Skunkcraft updater. And I highly recommend that you use the standalone Skunkcraft updater, not the one that is a plugin within X-Plane. Much, much easier to use it and much faster as well. Out of curiosity, how high have you seen your VRAM usage get while playing X-Plane? Not very high. VRAM usage is not very high. Can you repeat the sound pack? The COSP. K-O-S-P. COSP sound pack. I wish Toliss would make a 2-300. It would be really good to see that. You need to buy Neo add-on for the A321. Yes, that is correct. You need to buy the Neo add-on, which can be, by the way, very expensive. If you buy all of it together, I think they have it as a bundle, but you have to look over the X-Plane org. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it can get very expensive. I have a 4080 which has 16 GB VRAM and regularly sits right at 15.5. Really? Oof. That's a bit high. All right, we can see the beautiful clouds there. Very nice sky colors, I have to say. All right, nothing too exciting about the scenery that we're flying over, as we're flying over the ocean here. But we can see the clouds in the distance. I can still see some artifacts there far in the distance with the clouds, but definitely much, much better than all previous versions. And in some situations, by the way, the clouds look absolutely phenomenal. In some situations, they're not so great, but right now with 12.2 after the release version, I think in most situations the clouds look very nice. In most situations. Benny, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us. Yeah, the updates are not far, definitely, and Laminar is definitely working hard to improve the state of X-Plane from all respects. So very, very excited, very happy. And I actually am very excited about Sim Update 3 for Microsoft Flight Sim. And hopefully it addresses a lot of the issues that we're all facing, including the instability issues. I do agree that the clouds and lighting in X-Plane are better than MSFS. Yeah, the representation of the clouds. So in Microsoft Flight Sim, when you fly and go through the clouds, they look absolutely beautiful. The cloud smoothing is very nice, but they are actually not very realistic in terms of the variation and the actual formation of the clouds. The clouds will always look the same type. You don't get the variation in Microsoft Flight Sim. So, yeah, in that respect, it is a little better, yeah. Hello, HD Sim. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us this evening. Right, so if we look here, we are at 12,000 feet, and everything here is looking good. Aircraft systems are normal per design intent. No issues whatsoever. And we should be at our destination in no time. Runway 07 left at Hong Kong International. Now you can see the clouds as we get closer to them. This is a really nice, you can see the reflection, the light scattering in X-Plane has really been improved. The sky color is very believable. The colors are not, very natural. It just really is looking very, very nice. Absolutely. Great update from Laminar. All right, we're getting to 11,000 feet, so we're going to set the altimeter to 1008. Excellent. Looks like there is a restriction here at 11,000 feet. So it looks like we are going to... All right, we passed the restriction. So we are now at 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and turn on our landing lights. Nose light to takeoff. Runway turn-off lights are on as well. Look at the beautiful sky colors ahead of us with the scattered clouds there. That is a really nice looking scene there. Hey, Captain. Hey, Force Pizza. Welcome. Would you recommend the Mango Studio A340 sound pack? No, I do not recommend it whatsoever. There is a free sound pack for the A340, which I believe is better than the Mango sound pack. So, no, spend your money elsewhere, for sure. Sir William, welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel. Rick Rashid. Wa alaikum assalam, brother. Welcome. Glad to have you with us. Right. Let's go ahead and set this to 40. There is a restriction, and there's the top of descent there from this current restriction. And there we go. Here we go. We begin the descent again. One of the things really in Toliss is the VNAV and LNAV calculations are done to perfection. And by the way, Toliss aircraft by far has the very best fly-by-wire implementation of any aircraft in the flight sim world. They are number one when it comes to fly-by-wire implementation. So, right, we are now decreasing our speed. Let's take a quick look here at perf. We're going to go to the next phase. All right. So flaps full 147. The app is 137. We're doing flaps full. Transition flight level is already set here. Everything's set. All right, perfect. Look at those clouds, guys. You can also see the sea traffic. I thought I saw a aircraft carrier. Look at that. Wow. Isn't that cool? That's pretty cool, isn't it? All right. 900,000. We are at exactly 250 knots. Here is our 20 nautical mile ring. So we're getting pretty close now to Hong Kong. I can't wait for the WXR update. What about those shiny bright edges on the knobs? Yeah, that needs to be fixed for sure. U.S. carrier near China is crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I am unfortunately, Rick, not going to FS Expo this year. But my very good friend Stan is. So if you are there, be sure to look up Stan and say hello to him. A fine gentleman, and has been my wingman, not just here on the moderator, as the moderator on the channel, but he's been my wingman at FS Expo 2023. God, it sounds like yesterday. Time flies. We are already in 2025. So and Stan, by the way, has a lot of perspective on flight sim. You'll never get bored talking to Stan. So guys, if you're going to FS Expo, look him up. I think it's this weekend, Stan, isn't it? Thoughts on the Zibo 737? By far the very best freeware add-on available for X-Plane and for flight sim, alongside the fly-by-wire A380 and the A320. So one of the best add-ons that receives constant updates, much better than a lot of the payware aircraft that you'll find today. It is. I fly to Providence tomorrow. Well, safe travels, Stan. I am really going to think of you during this time. I really am very fond of the time that I've spent in 2023 in the U.S. At FS Expo, and meeting you in person, Stan, was my complete privilege. We definitely had a lot of fun. I remember we were getting pretty thirsty, but you're just a great man, Stan, a fine gentleman, really. And thank you for everything. Thank you, everyone, for all the support that you've extended to me. Adam says, I mean, it must be better than FBW. They're different aircraft for different sims, but yeah, the 737 by Zibo is by far the very best freeware add-on available today for X-Plane and for flight sim in general. I rank it again number one, along with the fly-by-wire aircraft for Microsoft Flight Sim. Right, we are. Let me see. I think I do. Yeah, we do have. So those lights are on. This one is not there. Okay. So do you guys want me to do the heads-up display for the landing? If so, just let me know. And let me see if I can bring those lights. Yeah, if you want me to use the heads-up display, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to do it. I get these weird FPS drops during cruise, like they drop for a minute down to 20 and then shoot back up to 40. That is more than likely something that is loading. So maybe you're flying over a scenery that is loading up as you fly, and maybe like your hard drive isn't fast enough, or the scenery isn't optimized. There's a lot of reasons for this to happen, but normally when you are flying and you get the sudden FPS drop, it is more than likely a scenery that is loading, and you are flying over it. So my recommendation is if you are not flying a specific scenery, remove it. So what I do is I have a backup folder, and I normally remove the sceneries that I don't fly to. First of all, it's going to make your sim load a lot faster. That's one. And the second thing is you will more than likely not face issues regarding non-optimized scenery, or maybe the scenery is no longer compatible with a specific version. So I always remove them, and that also helps me keep everything updated, because when I want to fly the scenery again, I'll always go and check if it is the latest version. I highly recommend that you get X Organizer, because X Organizer will tell you if there is a for a lot of the sceneries, it will tell you if there is a new version. But yeah, I highly recommend that you remove the sceneries that you do not use in the sim. Don't just keep them there. Spawning Salmon, welcome. Glad to have you here. It could be orthophoric speed, could be a lot of things, just loading in the background. So yeah, use the HUD. All right, so Boeing Corp Mike wants me to use the HUD, and your wish is my command, sir. All right, we'll do that then. Okay. I love that. So that's again something that's, by the way, it happens when you don't when your pitos aren't working. Then you can go here to the backup speed altitude. Now it will not give you the speed or altitude, but it will give you a green ribbon to indicate whether you are good or bad for the current altitude. So this is again simulated here on the Toliss aircraft. All right, so we want to use the HUD today for our approach. We're almost there now. We're going to set this to 20 nautical miles, and this is exactly the 20 nautical mile ring that we've created. We are currently at 6,000 feet, almost at our destination now, and things are looking good. I mean, this is a really very nice scene here. Is it raining? I hear rain. It is raining. I didn't think that there was any precipitation here. Let me... There's nothing here that indicates rain, but that's another thing in X-Plane. Sometimes it's just, it rains where it's not really raining. So, not really sure if it's currently raining there, but could be an E195, not sure yet. The default airport scenery in X-Plane are pretty good, especially if your computer is not that fast. Yes, that I would have to agree with. Yes, absolutely. All right, well, it's going to make it more interesting if we have rain, so that's fine. And we are currently descending to our platform altitude, which is 1,500 feet. We are at 4,500. And we are going to turn on the landing system here. Right, landing system is on. We're almost there now, descending at about 1,000 feet per minute. Yeah, the rain in X-Plane is another thing that definitely requires an update. A nice cockpit scene here as, again, you can see the sea traffic there. We've got some sort of looks like a yacht, or I'm not sure if it's a tanker or a yacht. But things are definitely looking very nice in X-Plane. We can see the weather radar as well here. So there's some pockets of bad weather, so maybe it is raining right now, I don't know. We're looking good. can hear the non-interactive ATC in the background as well, and that would be XATC chatter doing its thing in the background. All right. You can use the wipers there. Very nice. It's just going to be too distracting, I think. All right, 2,700 feet. We're almost there now. You can see the speed is now going down. So we are decelerating. The rain stops all of a sudden. Let's switch this to 10 nautical miles. Still looking good. Yeah, it looks like it has gone away now. All right. Very nice lighting in X-plane. All right, let's go ahead and select approach. And speed check flaps 1. Flaps 1 is selected as we approach the 10 nautical mile ring here. Again, for situational awareness, it's just really excellent. And you guys want the HUD, so let's bring up the HUD. Right, there we go. And we're gonna go, all right, we can leave the speed for now. Right, all right, we're gonna go speed check flaps 2 and landing gear down. We're gonna arm the speed brakes. Right, we have the runway in sight.
2,000.
Looking good. The heads-up display is very distracting, guys, but I know you guys want to see it. All right, speed check, flaps 3. Speed check, flaps full. Here's the outside view here as we come into land. All right, looking good here. Cabin is right. Cabin crew seats for landing, please. And we'll disconnect at 1,000 feet. Very nice approach into Hong Kong International.
$1,000.
1,000. Autopilot disengaged, my aircraft. I can definitely feel the wind.
$500.
Light slow. Light slow.
$400.
Light slow.
Yeah, we're below.
Light slow.
$300.
It's the HUD, guys. It really distracts me.
$200. 100 above. $100. Minimum 50, 40, 30. Retard. 10, 5.
Ladies and gents, welcome to Hong Kong International Airport. Reverse green. I think we forgot the auto brakes, haven't we? All right. We're all in one piece, ladies and gents. Welcome. Alrighty. Let's remove the heads-up display. And let us... I think we need to go over to that side. So, first, let's take a look at our replay. Let's see here. Alright, so we're gonna click here. I hope the sim doesn't crash.
100 above.
I felt that it was going to crash there for a second. Alright, there we go. And here's one of my absolute favorite replay views here. Wow, look at the lights, guys. Just gorgeous looking aircraft here. We have got to adore X-Plane. Look at that. All right, and we'll do it one more time. Maybe two more times. Well, let's see. Well, what do you guys think? That was a pretty cool approach into Hong Kong. It's pretty cool, yeah. And we'll do it one more time here. There we go. I'm not using any mods for lights. That's default X-Plane. Look at the airport there, and the distance looks really, really good. All right, let's do, how about we do a wing view, guys, for the last, yeah, we'll do this view here for our last replay. I mean, really, X-Plane is starting to look really, really good. Very cool. All right, and let's remove the replay mode, and we can now head over to the terminal. Let's go ahead and retract the flaps. Very cool. Runway turnoff lights off, landing lights off, and nose light to taxi. Strobe back to auto, and let's go ahead and start the APU. We can also disarm the speed brakes. I think it's somewhere over there. I don't know how far. You know what? We'll just find a spot there to park the aircraft because it's going to be a very long taxi. It's a huge airport here at Hong Kong International. Right, and we can let the passengers use their mobile phones at this point. I think we could have done a slightly better landing without the HUD. The HUD is something that always distracts me, so I never really use it. I know it's something that pilots use, and it's great aid to pilots. But for me, it's just very distracting. So that was a pretty nice flight today. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed it as much as I did. Streaming it for you. Looks like APU is now available. Huge airport. You can see some parking positions there ahead of us, so we'll just go to one of them positions there and park the aircraft. Where do you buy Toliss? There you go. Just type !aircraft and you will get the link to the purchase page of the Toliss aircraft. So !aircraft will get you the link to the A330 by Toliss. Very, very nice scenery there by Thai models of Hong Kong International. Q8, what mods do you use? Your sim looks amazing in the night. I'm not using absolutely nothing. Nothing. I am not using any add-ons, any scenery enhancements, any Lua scripts, nothing. This is X-Plane 12.2.0 default. Alright, here we go. We'll make a turn. I think over there we'll make a right, and then I think we'll have plenty of spots to park the aircraft. So what do you guys think? Should we fly the Starship on Saturday, do a review, or do you guys still want an X-Plane video or stream? Are you using XP Realistic still? Did you disable the physics camera? Yes, I am using XP Realistic, and by default, if you have X camera enabled, it will disable the physics-based camera of X-Plane, the native. X-Plane. So you guys want X-Plane. Do you run at 4K? I run my sim at 2K, but it's downscaled to 1080p or to 1080p for the stream. So my streaming software will scale this down to 1080p, but my display is a 2K display. Alright, so there's plenty of positions here that we can bring the aircraft to a stop. Obviously this looks, yeah, we do have some Cathay Pacific aircraft there, so one of these spots here should be fine. FPS is, by the way, very good at this airport. I can optimize, so I'm getting about 56 FPS right now here on the ground at this very involved scenery of Hong Kong International by Thai model. So again, no problems there with the scenery, with the FPS whatsoever. All right, here we go. We're gonna take Delta 202 stand for our aircraft and bring the aircraft to a stop. Let's go ahead and kill the taxi lights so that we don't blind the guys or the marshaller. Ah, there's no marshaller there. It's a dock there for us. Okay, let's line up. And A320, A340 doesn't seem to be working, but that's all right. And right there, right, parking brake is set. We're going to turn on the APU bleed, and we're going to kill engine number 1, engine number 2. Engines are coming, are turning off now. 5, 4, 3, and we can now turn on the beacon light off. There we go, you get the bell there. And the jetway is now connecting to the aircraft. Okay. All lights are off here. We are going to turn off the seatbelt sign. And there you have it. The jetway is now connected and deboarding can now start. And obviously you can see the cargo doors are automatically now opening to deboard the airplane. And that is it for our stream this evening, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I did. It was definitely a lot of fun. And the Toliss really never fails to immerse you in the flying experience. It's been really a wonderful flight from Xiamen to Hong Kong International. And what made this stream very special is your presence with me here in chat. I thoroughly enjoyed the interaction. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. It's been a lot of fun. And I will probably set a poll for you guys to see what you guys want me to do this coming Saturday, whether you want the Starship review or you want us to fly an X-Plane video. So I'll give you guys the choice in a community poll in shortly, maybe sometime tomorrow. But until then, ladies and gents, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, and have a lovely day. Bye-bye for now.